For me, open innovation is outside-in thinking, collaboration, and win-win outcomes. The biggest contribution that startups can bring to Mastercard is to work with us to shape the future of commerce and to enable the next billion people to access the digital economy. At Mastercard, we have a dedicated startup and fintech engagement initiative called StartPath, through which we both scout the best companies in the world, but also collaborate and co-innovate with them to uncover opportunities that are mutually beneficial. Through this activity, we've worked with about 250 startup companies from across the globe over the past 6 years, and those companies have gone on to raise about $3 billion in capital investment after the program. And we believe that that's a demonstration of our role, not just in identifying great companies, but actually also in supporting them to accelerate the way that they're changing the world. Open innovation is part of Mastercard's overall commitment to innovation. As a technology company that develops tools around the points of interaction between buyers and sellers, we recognize that success will come through partnership. We've built a dedicated internal team that focuses on startup engagement in a centralized manner, but that team cannot be successful alone. So they work with functions right across the business to ensure successful outcomes. That includes the product owners, the business lines, the go-to-market teams, but also the central functions that keep the organization going. We've also built a really wide network of trusted partners external to Mastercard. So venture capital funds, accelerator programs, and of course, a community of global startups that assist this work. At Mastercard, we use a variety of measures to measure success, given that our focus is both on de-risking innovation at the earliest stages, but then also enabling delivery of that innovation into the broader organization to scale. So the measures for us include, first of all, tracking the percentage of projects at each stage of the innovation funnel, from research all the way through to commercialization, and ensuring that through doing that tracking, we're creating a balance between creativity on the one hand and implementation for commercial results on the other hand. We also measure the long-term potential of innovation initiatives that we're working on and the projected material value that they will deliver over time. And then specifically to our startup collaborations, we measure outcomes. We focus on the number of successful pilots through to the number of signed deals and the associated value of those engagements. So despite the enormous strides that business has taken over the last 10 years in its approach to innovation, large and also to large and small company collaboration, we still speak different languages. Startups and corporates speak different languages and they have different incentives. So as well as the challenges faced by large corporations in simply identifying the right startups to collaborate with, I think it behoves us all to think about how we engage, both on the startup side and on the corporate side. At Mastercard, our CEO encourages us all to focus on what he calls a decency quotient. So alongside IQ and EQ, we strive to do business with DQ as well. And we strive to bring this to all facets of our work, including startup engagement, and we expect our collaborators to do the same. I'm passionate about making the world of technology inclusive and equitable. I believe the area to be most bullish on is the value that diverse teams can bring to open innovation. So I'm therefore really bullish on placing focus on identifying startups that are led by underrepresented entrepreneurs. So while focusing on proof points like the amount of capital raised or the distance that they've traveled since they put a product into market, for those of us who are working in this open innovation and startup engagement space, I believe that we must acknowledge that entrepreneurs who don't look like the archetype of a founder, they find it harder to raise money and to scale their business. So it's really important that we think in creative ways to identify those companies, because they're often the ones who have the most innovation to bring and the most opportunity for collaboration. I'd like to thank the organisers, Mind the Bridge, for an absolutely incredible event and for their continued leadership in this really important business space.